Good morning, everybody. I am Dorothy Morgan. I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me at dorothymorganastrologer.com. Today, we're going to talk about April 12th, the astrology of that. We're also going to do Astro Dice and a card to finish it off with. So let's get a look at what today is going to be about. I'm going to share my screen with you. That's not the button. This one is. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I am looking at. So here is the chart for today. No ascendant, no midheaven. We don't talk about houses because everybody's in a different place. Okay, so we don't talk about that. I do talk about the energy of the planets, whichever one I happen to pick for today, and their aspects with each other. That's what we get to talk about. So it's an energy reading for all of us based off the astrology, the astro dice, and the cards. So what I see today, first thing this morning, depends on when you're watching this. I mean, first thing this morning on April 12th, the moon in Leo. It's at the very, very end of the zodiac sign. And whenever anybody's at the end of the zodiac sign, the sign that they happen to be in, 28 or 29 degrees, we feel that as an important focus, and we can feel it in the air, if you will. So this morning, again, just before 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, as the moon is at 29 Leo, it could feel like something could feel very energizing, very emotional, because when the moon's in a fire sign, it definitely, that last degree of any fire sign is quite fiery and dynamic and very passionate. So you could be very emotional at this point in time. It does whenever anything's at the final 1 or 2 degrees right now, because Pluto is at 28 Capricorn. There is always going to be a connection between that planet and Pluto. So the moon, it's a quincunx here. So there's lots of adjusting that has to happen. And it goes by pretty quickly since the moon moves quickly. However, that's not the case with Mars, semi-sextile to Pluto. So whenever, again, any planet is at the final degrees, Jupiter will get there later in another 3 or 4 weeks, connecting with Pluto. Pluto's really helping us to, it's the shift. It is the shift that you see around you, the shift you feel within you. It's very important that we honor that there is definitely a change happening in us. We know what's happening in the world, and use that to your advantage. That's why we have these things. We know these things ahead of time with the astrology. Here's the moment the moon enters the sign of Virgo. It'll be in Virgo, I think, for 2.5 days. Let's take a peek. Goes in at 10:07 a.m. and then it stays in that sign until 4:46 p.m. on the 14th. So a little over, just not quite 2.5 days. It's moving rather quickly. Moon in Virgo is all about focusing on the fine tuning of the details. Maybe your health. Virgo rules our overall health, or what your daily routine is about, or some detail. It's tax season right now. I got mine mailed yesterday. And yeah, I mail them. I don't put them in electronically. It doesn't seem to work for me. I don't know why. I don't care. That's the bookkeeping. Virgo is a sign of bookkeeping or accounting. So if you do have taxes to do, then today, which is Tuesday, April 12th, and Wednesday, April 13th, those 2 days would be great. They're good for focusing. So that's what I want to talk about with the moon. So we're going to stop right there with that. More astrology on my Patreon. That is a way you can come and please financially support me. This is my profession, has been for over 20 years. You can come and support me there. Order a reading. That's great too. There we go. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's it for the commercial. I'm not a heavy pusher for marketing like that. All right. Hey, do you have a question? I just rolled the dice. I'm going to tell you what they are. If this is your first time understanding the astro dice, 3 dice, 12 sides on each dice, kind of like any of those D&D games you would play, or that's so old fashioned. Tell me if it's different. If you know, I don't know. What I have here, what I rolled was, it's beautiful. Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 4th house. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. Now, we're not talking about what's going on in the sky. We're talking about the energy of the roll of the dice. Just like if you ask a question with a tarot deck or an oracle deck, and you ask a question, and I'm going to read what the energy of that is. Okay. And so It's a great way to practice if you're a brand new astrologer too. So you can learn to do your sentencing, your astrological sentencing. Jupiter is that expansive nature in Sagittarius. That's its natural home, right? That's where it wants to be. So it's expansive. It's about freedom. It's about creating more space. And we're talking about, it came up, the fourth house came up. So that has to do with your home, with your family. The root and the base and the foundation of your home is becoming more expansive. All right. Now, if there's something that you've been processing and thinking about, because not everybody is thinking about their home, maybe their home is secure, right? Or maybe you're considering adding on something, making a bigger space. This would say, yes, that's going to happen. But again, I don't know what's going on in your life, in your world. I want to go to the psychological piece of this too, because the fourth house is the psychological foundations that we all have. Our family teaches us how to think and be. And as we grow older, right, and we can figure out what we think and what we believe, we can follow suit, which is perfectly fine. Or we can, say, no, I don't believe that, and go forward. So Jupiter in Sagittarius in the fourth house, in that psychological foundation, can mean that you are exploring new things, maybe a new religion, maybe a new way to think, a new way to believe, and you're processing your internal psychological stuff, right? And you're processing it to create more space and more freedom. And one more way Jupiter and Saturn in the fourth house can come out is through being, let me see what else. Just exploring life, like actually finding a way, like taking a family vacation, fourth house family. Jupiter in Sagittarius is about exploring new worlds and experiencing things you haven't experienced before. Like, for instance, if you live in the middle of the country, actually taking a trip and seeing the ocean in person. I know that sounds really simple, but it expands your world. And this is how astrology works. We are living in just day to day, right? It doesn't, there's plenty of astrologers that do the mundane astrology, and we talk about the war and governments falling, and they are, and all of those things are true. But we still have our day in and day out lives of going to the grocery store and getting food and getting our car repaired and normal things. So that's how I like to use this. So think of it that way too. All right. Best way to support me here on YouTube, thumbs up, comment below. Live stream commenting is great. I do premiere most of these, so that's great too, but make sure and put the thumbs up and comment below the video itself on YouTube. And please share, just like hit that share button and put it in your newsletters and everywhere. Because, the more the merrier. I'd like to look at both of them now. I've been watching other tarot. I'm not a tarot person. I don't do tarot. I love it, but I don't do it myself. But I've been watching others and they do stuff like that. So we got the medicine woman, medicine man. And then on the bottom of the deck is nature spirit. So the nature spirit one first, the card I pulled was medicine woman, medicine man. We could say medicine person. Nature spirits, get out and connect with nature. We get another cloudy, rainy day. We get one day of sun and then it's cloudy and rainy again. The medicine card, I'm going to read this one. Yeah, the medicine card, medicine person, that's definitely about having faith in your situation. You can be a natural healer. Usually we pick this for as individuals, but it's about naturally healing what you need to naturally heal. And look at this. Boy, I'm not resonating with this one, even though it doesn't have to be for me. Have faith what's happening is for you. Boy, let's take a brief second here and look. Funny. I had to look it up because I couldn't quite remember what this one was about. All of these cards don't come up for me, so I'm not always keen on what they mean. This is like what I was talking about with Jupiter. This is an opportunity to begin to heal something from your past. So as a medicine person or invoking that type of spirit or energy, you're able to begin a healing process. All right. So it's good. You have to recognize what that problem is or recognize, what's going on, the fear or emotional reactions, things like that. So when that card comes up, and also Jupiter and Sagittarius in the fourth house, are psychological foundation. So for somebody and some of us, this may be an opportunity for us to heal, right? To really go through a very deep healing process. And just right back to the astrology, just to one more time, the astrology of that, again, with anytime a planet is at 28 or 29 degrees, which the moon just did this morning, and Mars is there now, it is getting that infusion of Plutonian energy, which is about the deeper transformations that are happening. Jupiter will do that pretty soon. Let's just animate the chart. I'm curious when Jupiter will be at the very end. We got to get Jupiter. There it is. So right around the end of April. When Jupiter gets to 28, there it is. Yeah, at the end of April, early May. And Mercury and Venus will be there too. We'll talk about that on May 1st. I'm going to stop now. Thank you, everybody, so much. Have a great day, and comment below, and really come to my website and join up. I just have the full moon. The full moon forecast is out. It'll be at the end, attached to the cards at the end. I don't know where they show up. And yeah, share that too. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Namaste.